I don't believe that there's such thing as being well rested. I choose to believe that's just a myth because I've never experienced it before. I just every day wake up and I'm exhausted and I'm just always tired and it's awful. What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing another Godzilla vs. Kong news and updates. That's right, Godzilla vs. Kong back again. Just trying to catch up on news and stay on top of things. But anyways, let's jump into the Godzilla vs. Kong news that exists, starting with the game completers Godzilla vs. Kong art, which looks really cool. It's pretty much inspired by the banner as far as I can tell, and it looks really cool. I like it a lot. You know, Godzilla and Kong both look great, and I really appreciate the cool color palette in the background. You got this nice little lightning bolt splitting the color in half, which is nice. Pretty neat, but you got Kong all in yellow and Godzilla all in blue, which I think is an awesome touch, and so it's good stuff. Also, I'm about 98% sure this isn't real, but just on the off chance it's something, I figured I'll mention it. Kaijuzilla B on Twitter sent me this image from Wikizilla's website. Wikizilla has listed this little poster as being something for Godzilla vs. Kong. I couldn't tell if it was like a fan art or an actual poster that's supposed to be used in China or something. I don't know, but on the off chance that it's something real, I'll show it off here. I actually have seen this image before. It's just like a very geometric looking Godzilla and Kong that I believe was used in China. I guess it could be somewhere else. I'm not entirely sure what language this text at the top is written in, but I believe this was supposed to be like a Chinese poster for the movie. Legendary Comics celebrated the new year by posting a meme about how they have big plans for 2021, and they certainly do. The MonsterVerse currently has a 6-book total lineup for 2021, which is going to be really awesome. That means we've got the art book, the novelization, 2 comic books, 1 children's book, and 1 board book, which I believe is also a children's book. So I think there's 2 children's books, 2 comics, and then you got the art book and the novelization. Speaking of said novelization, we have some details for it, including a new placeholder cover. It's just blank, but you know, it was, I guess, kind of cool to see the image of what it will look like without the background. I don't know. It's $8.99, so it's cheaper than the other novelizations have been, and it will release on May 25th, 2021, meaning it will release later than the film, which comes out May 21st, which is the first time this has happened, and I really appreciate that. That is good news because it means there's less chance for spoilers. We have a new plot description for Godzilla vs. Kong that came with this novelization that says humanity fights for its future as Godzilla and Kong embark on a path of destruction that will see the 2 most powerful forces of nature on the planet collide in an all-out war. Cool. Yeah, that doesn't give us any new information, but I like the term all-out war. Should be very epic. Some news that isn't very epic is that we don't know when Godzilla vs. Kong will release in Japan. Toho has currently shifted around all of its 2021 film releases due to the pandemic, but they did not give Godzilla vs. Kong a new date. It is currently up in the air as to when the film will release over there, which kind of sucks for the Japanese viewers. You know, we don't know when it's going to come out. It will certainly come out in 2021, and it will come out around the time the movie comes out here in America, but I guess they're just holding off because they're waiting to see when the film will actually start getting marketing or something. I don't know. I don't know why they're holding off, but they haven't given it a set-in-stone release date yet, but I would assume whenever the American release date is 100% guaranteed, Toho will guarantee their release date to be the same day, if not the same week, you know, that kind of area. I'm sure they'll come out in very close proximity to one another. Josh Goldstein has taken over as Warner Bros. New head of marketing. As I've talked about in previous videos, Warner did lose its head of marketing, and so now they have a new one who is already involved with Godzilla vs. Kong. We will see what his marketing strategy is for the film. Sounds like they're probably going to wait to start marketing the movie until the legal drama with Legendary is 100% tied up, and we'll talk about that in a little bit because that's almost tied up. Kong Skull Island has found its way to HBO Max, so I believe as of now you can watch every single MonsterVerse film on HBO Max, which is cool, and now Godzilla vs. Kong is slated to release on HBO Max as well, meaning they will all be nice at home there for a little bit. Sounded like Legendary was looking for $250 million for Godzilla vs. Kong. That's what they wanted from Warner Bros. They said if you pay us $250 million, we will walk away. The movie will be a success in our books, it will be a hit, and you guys can make all the money from that point on. It's all on you from that point on, so you got to make that money back. Sounds like that was the deal they pitched because Netflix offered anywhere from $200 to $250 million for the movie. Now, we get into the news that Legendary and Warner Bros. Are almost done with their big drama. Sounds like they're almost over. We do know that Godzilla vs. Kong is on schedule. Legendary and Warner are reaching a deal on Godzilla vs. Kong specifically, not any of their other collab projects. It will most likely avoid any legal confrontation, seeing as though Netflix bid for the movie, so Legendary Legendary has already valued the film anywhere from $200 million to $250 million. If Netflix hadn't bid for the movie, I don't know where the film would be. I think it would be a little bit more of a complicated situation, but Netflix put the bid in, and so Legendary went, yeah, we'll take it. Give us the money, Warner, and then you can keep the movie. I would assume that $225 million is probably around where they'll settle for the film, and so we'll see what happens if they do that. Warner is still trying to negotiate for deals with Godzilla vs. Kong's talent, but they assure us that this will not impact the film's May 21st release date. What that means is that we don't know how talent, cast, and crew are going to get paid for this movie like they normally do. Probably that will result in some unhappy cast and crew who won't be as willing to promote the movie when it's coming out. That would be my guess. Dune is a little bit more of a complicated situation for anyone who cares. The director wants the film to be theatrical only and is very dead set on that, whereas Godzilla vs. Kong sounds like doesn't really have a choice, doesn't really matter what anyone thinks. That one's gonna be day and date. So that's currently the situation for anyone who cares about Dune. Warner does have a new plan on how to deal with the pandemic and how to deal with Godzilla vs. Kong and everything in an attempt to tie up the drama surrounding talent for all these movies. Warner's plan is to treat every day and date release film like a box office smash. They've already written off the entire 2021 lineup in their books as it's a success. I don't know how the math tracks out there. You know, you're not getting any money yet, but sure, they've already said they're all hits, and that's the deal. Now, there's also a COVID-19 multiplier going on for box office results that treats every dollar made as $2 made in an attempt to give special bonuses to the cast and crew in half the time. So every movie will seemingly be double the success that it is, and then they plan to just go back to normal in 2022. There's a lot of big implications to that we're not going to get into on the channel, but you know what? That's good news, because if they settle this deal with Legendary, that means Legendary writes the film off as a success, and Warner Bros. Has already said, yeah, all our movies they're hits because of HBO Max is going to hopefully do very well, so they're all hits. Okay, cool. Godzilla vs. Kong is the first big blockbuster to be released by Warner Bros. This year, which means it'll be the first one to get paid off according to them. You know, there's other movies that come out before that obviously have to get paid off first, but I'm saying of the big blockbusters they're releasing this year, that'll be the first one up that gets paid off quickest. And so yeah, if the movie's a success, then that's good. If they're gonna write this off as a success, that's what I like to hear. Hopefully the box office is very gracious for the film, and hopefully it smashes records on HBO Max. That'd be very, very cool, and I'd like to see more MonsterVerse in the future. Warner Bros. Tried out their day and date release to interesting results. The film Wonder Woman 84 was very split among audiences. Not a lot of people like it. I thought it was okay, but not a lot of people like it. It opened at 16.7 million in the US, making it the biggest pandemic opening ever. That meant that worldwide it had 85 million opening weekend, which is a pretty big deal. But the movie had a horrible drop off, did not make a ton of money. Following that point, it immediately dropped off on the international market, and it's had a massive decline here in the States. We'll talk a little bit about the HBO Max side in a minute, but with the box office numbers only 85 million worldwide, and Warner Bros. Already greenlit a Wonder Woman 3, and Wonder Woman 2 has a $200 million budget, so I don't know how they went 85 to 200 million. Cool. That's a win in our books. Let's make a sequel. Hopefully they do that same sort of magic to Godzilla vs. Kong to be like, oh, the movie doesn't even need to make a fraction of its budget, and we'll say good to go. You didn't even have to make half of it back. Bold strategy, Warner Bros. Bold strategy. But they claim that it's paying off, because they're claiming that Wonder Woman 84 is a huge hit on HBO Max, saying it shattered their expectations and has smashed records. We will see if that holds true when they finally release their investor numbers, so we can see how many subscribers they now have compared to before, but they're claiming that the Wonder Woman 84 is doing great on HBO Max. Also, HBO Max has a little bit of an expansion, as it's now available on Roku TVs, so if you have a Roku TV, you can get HBO Max. Also, they're planning to expand to 190 new territories by 2025. Not that that's in the immediate present, but that means that they're hoping to expand to more territories, so if they try this strategy in the future, it will pay off much better. Total Film Magazine is doing a 2021 preview issue. Actually, they've already done it. The issue's already dropped, but they previewed a bunch of new 2021 films, including Halloween Kills, which looks pretty badass. But they did their little, here's our 2021 preview issue. And in it, they featured Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, interesting to note that they did not feature any new info for Godzilla vs. Kong. There is no new image of Godzilla vs. Kong either. It's a picture from 2014 in Kong Skull Island. So a lot of people are wondering, how come a movie like Halloween got a new image, but Godzilla vs. Kong didn't? We will talk about in a little bit bit why that might be the case. Now, Total Film does mention an interview with Wingard that I haven't really read before. I've never seen this quote before, but he claims in this quote that the movie will have a bigger emphasis on the human story with lots of questions regarding how the cast relate to one another and how they relate to the monsters. For everybody who is complaining about the human drama in Godzilla King of the Monsters not being up to par, sounds like Wingard is hoping that he will fix that. Also, spoiler warning for Godzilla vs. Kong, I suppose, not really, but I suppose. For anyone who doesn't know about the toy stuff, get out of here because this article mentions it, and then you can, I guess, skip to the next section because we won't talk about it in the next section, but here we go. They mentioned that Mechagodzilla will most likely be appearing in the film to, quote, tag team something. I don't know what the hell he's gonna tag team, but they say that he will maybe be tag teaming in the new movie. Now, this quote is entirely not educated. It's just a statement. It's the same statement that I could make and say Mechagodzilla will probably show up in the movie because he's in the toys. He is in the toys, so he will probably show up in the movie. We don't know what his involvement will be. They don't either. They didn't get a new interview for this movie. They didn't get any new info for it. So it's clearly just like any fan could say the same thing. So I see a lot of people like, well, that confirms that Godzilla and Kong are going to team up against Mechagodzilla to tag team him. First of all, that's not what the quote is saying. Second of all, no, this quote doesn't confirm anything. It's not even confirmation that Mechagodzilla will be in the movie. It's confirmation that there's a toy of Mechagodzilla that is related to the movie. That's all that is. Why didn't Godzilla vs. Kong have any new details from the Total Film magazine article? Well, a probable reason for that is because Entertainment Weekly got the exclusive. Entertainment Weekly is slated to spotlight a bunch of 2021 films, including Godzilla vs. Kong, which they name dropped in their announcement. They set out a whole list on their website that you can go check out. And so yeah, it's probable that Entertainment Weekly will have a Godzilla vs. Kong slot and that will give us some sort of new details. Now on to some spoiler art. So if you don't know any spoilers, get on out of here. This is the final piece of the episode. This one comes from Osmoso Fan Comics, and it is, drum rolling so you can get out of here, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Pretty cool. Based on the toy images, and yeah, I mean, this would be a cool concept in a movie not Godzilla vs. Kong, you know, something that they actually properly built towards instead of just shoehorning in some cheeky little Easter egg in there for people who can read the credits as it flashes on screen for 5 seconds saying, hey, there's a mech on Skull Island. That's not proper world building and setup, but okay, it's alright, you know, it's whatever. It's a cool image. I really like it, and yeah, I think Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla looks cool here, and it could be something that could be really exciting to see on the big screen if done right. Will they do it right? I hope so. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man, out. What? You never watched my 66 years of Godzilla tribute? You know it's posted, right? I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but go check it out. And then you can tell me if you like it or not.